HELLCAST. You have cool shit and sent us cool shit, so we have a new 6-9 seconds. And then, classic records on the wrong speed. And Jesse sipping a coffee from Assimilation all the way in Canada, because this is a special episode of HELLCAST. And it wouldn't be an episode without the Dick Candle Blowers over at the Reaper Metal on Patreon, the fan club. And this one goes out to James McEwen. And normally, this is a J-Dog job, but I'm going to have to blow it out myself. Look at that.
That was a good blowjob.
Yeah. See, you could appreciate the dick candle.
Yeah. If you can't appreciate a good dick, I don't know what's up.
And that's going to be the theme in this episode, is slightly some dicks, I guess, to some, because it's the feather ruffling episode. And I figured it'd be proper if we're going to have Jesse here, because we've had a conversation when it comes to the Assimilation album that's coming out on Reaper Metal Productions, or is out rather at this point, Tainting the Purity. And one of the things that we were talking about are, A, the fact that there's songs on there that might ruffle some feathers, and B, let's ruffle some feathers when we're trying to promote it. So here we are, going to at least talk about how is ruffling feathers, because there is a song on there that at least ties around to this whole theme, with it's kind of a leaning toward Peter Steele, and that would be Justified Mediocrity, correct, or did I get the wrong song?
Very correct.
Very correct.
100%, yes.
Now, what do you mean by that, though, when it's relating to Pete Steele? Because he's a feather ruffler, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, there's a classic thing, you know, when they released their first album as Typo Negative, and they had contractual obligation to get the next album out, so they did the live album. That was, you know, Peter Steele's asshole as the cover, yeah. And they just re-recorded the first album, changed the track names around, and then just named each track a different thing, and the label never knew. And then, I think one of the classic ones is there's like a Peter Steele interview where he talks about, you know, he was a big Beatles fan, and in one interview they said that, like, the Beatles said that they were going to be bigger than Jesus, right? And that was like a big headline catcher. Yeah. So then Peter Steele, in his infinite wisdom, was in an interview, and he's like, yeah, and it was in Germany, and they're like, yeah, we're going to be bigger than Hitler, and everyone's like. And then apparently the next day they got bomb threats at their fucking show, and everyone had to leave. But then they included that on the live album. There's like a bomb threat in the in the thing. Everyone has to leave, and everyone's like, "You suck, you suck." So I always like that, you know, his kind of self-deprecating style. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's like also just even some of the New York stuff in it, or scene anyway too, that has a little bit more of the feather ruffling, because it really is it's a lost art. Like, I was talking, did a recent interview with Mike Browning, formerly of Morbid Angel, and he was talking about, you know, back in the day he kicked Trey's ass. You know, they settle in it like men, as he put it, and it's like, you know, that's a lost art. You couldn't do that. You know, it had to be back in the day.
I don't think Trey's really known for being a tough guy. You know, he's always like the absolute like skinniest guy in the band, but.
Yeah, but it is like the society rules, though, that we have kind of become confined, and like music has gone with it.
The best way to get famous now is to punch out Danzig and record it.
That was pretty entertaining.
Although no one knows what that band is called. I fucking love Danzig too, but it's just like that's all anyone talks about now at this point, right? With Danzig. Well, I guess it's kind of going down, but it was pretty bad for a bit there.
Yeah, well, even like death metal, though, like think about like if. I don't know, like Cannibal Corpse, you know, it ruffled feathers. Like there was a deicide, like it pissed people off. It was in the spotlight attention, and it's like.
That was the point.
What's that?
That was the point back then, right? And now it's like, nowadays everyone's trying to be prim and proper. And the whole reason I got into metal is because I was always an outcast. Like I don't agree with most people. Like, you know, I liked horror movies when I was like 2. Like,
right.
It's just always been like. This is not supposed to be the genre for the normal people, right? If you want to get offended and, you know, go listen to fucking pop punk or whatever else is on the radio, you know, like, and that's kind of what Justified Mediocrity is about. It's like, you know, freedom of speech is the most important thing, especially in metal, you know what I mean? And, you know, this is a whole, as far as I'm concerned, this is a genre founded on free speech, you know, and being able to piss people off, you know, and not saying that, you know, no one can say anything and you can do whatever you want, but you should be able to do what you want and deal with the consequences, as opposed to just flat out, no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Which is a bit kind of the direction we seem to be going in in the world, as, you know.
Well, more
sucks.
And more Razor will be coming up later in the episode. But I was just listening to I was catching up on Shotgun Justice. I believe it was, and then it had like American Luck. Is that the song, or at least something he keeps saying? Like I hardly know that and like I'm like, oh man, like as an American, you know, you're a Canadian, so maybe you're like, I was just like, where was this tension between the Canadians and Americans? I guess maybe in the 80s, like with Reaganism and stuff, because then there's like
I don't know if it's as much that type of tension as just not being able to break into that whole fan base. Like, it wasn't like
right.
Canada versus America in that song. It's more like, if you're a Canadian band, and I kind of feel this, it's like, if you're a Canadian band, like, you're kind of trapped up here. Like, if we want to come down there, we got to fucking jump through hoops. We got to get fucking P2 visas, you know, and some people just fucking do it like the guerrilla way and ship their gear over. But especially now, like, how the fuck we wanted to tour for this album, we can't even come to your country, you know what I mean? And like, we're so close, it's pretty much like the same, you know, like, we speak the same language, like pretty much same values and stuff, right? But it's like, we're just, you know, it's not easy. And in America, like, there's places to tour everywhere. Like, you could just do a tour, you know, on just a corner of but in Canada, you want to do a Canadian tour, you're retarded. Don't do that. Like, bands want to do like cross Canada tours. I'm like you're better off just playing Vancouver, Calgary, and then flying to Montreal and doing
basically a coastal,
Toronto, going down to New York.
Exactly.
You know, people go to like fucking Grand Prairie and like Prince George, and it's just like, you know.
Right. Because there's a lot few and far between. But that, you know, the other thing though too is like Dayglow Abortions was another one. Like, they had you know, proud to be a Canadian. There's a little bit of even attack on like the Reaganism at the time. Like, they're definitely like, I think Razor. I don't know if with Shotgun Justice, I don't know if it was in the 80s or the 90s, but either way,
it's 90s. That's
90s. So either way, they're both bands and products of their time, and you know, it's essentially the point. It's a lost art. Like, rather it might not be, you know, the Razor song, the Dayglow song, like a direct like a feather ruffle to Americans or any sort of tension, but it is still something that somebody could perceive the wrong way and had their feathers ruffled. And especially if that were to come out today, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't do that, or people would be just afraid that it's like they're gonna get a fist in the face or something.
Like fucking Speak English or Die.
There's
no way that can come up now. And it's like, that's a tongue-in-cheek album. They're not racist. Like, right? If we wrote something like that now, we'd be like labeled on like some right-wing website. It'd be like, Jesus, like, it's like, we're joking, you know, or like, you know, Carnivore, like male supremacy by Carnivore, like, you know, it's about killing people with
Jesus,
your bare
Hitler?
hands, but then he goes back to his girlfriend in the middle of the song,
right?
So it's like, but people are going to be like, ooh, and you know, I think that's why I think Peter Steele is one of the kings of that in metal, just being so triggering, like, you know.
Well, but what is it too though? Is there a generation that just doesn't have ball busting? Like, what is, I don't, that, because that's what it kind of is. It's like, you know, it makes it's like it's fun then to discover it through the music too. Like, if you get the jokes, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've always been drawn to people, like, if I can't absolutely, you know, let anything out of my mind, you know, and that's what, name the best comedians, like Eddie Murphy and like fucking Richard Pryor and stuff. They were not, you know, like PC at all, like, you know. So I don't know, like, and I've noticed that with a lot of my friends, you know, in the past year or even couple months, you know, people I used to be able to joke around with and say stuff, they're like, oh, you can't say that now. I'm like, what happened? Did
Right.
an A-bomb drop? You know, like, what? Like, free speech is dead now, you know? So that's why, you know, kind of like my bands is like a free, like, sanctuary for free speech. We can joke around. Nothing's off limits. Just have fun, you know? Like, I think people are way too, people want to be offended these days. I've always thought this. You choose to be offended, you know?
Yeah.
You're not, like, it's a conscious choice that someone says something to you and you're angered enough to argue with them or type or try and take them down in some way, you know?
Right.
If I don't like what someone says, I'm just like, cool. You know, like, I'm into bodybuilding. I'm into, like, I play, like, fucking 8 hours of video games a day. I don't expect, that'd be like me wanting everyone to be into bodybuilding and death metal. You know what I mean? It's like, you have to do that or you're stupid, you know, and getting into arguments. And it's like, why? Like, just let everyone do and believe what they're going to do and just do your own thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
it's like everyone wants to control everybody. It's fucked.
yeah.
I ain't fucked.
And I'm going to control this show and take us into the next segment then. Are you ready to hear some music?
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Control me, bro.
9 seconds, where we play 6 albums, 6 songs essentially, and 9 seconds of it. And whatever happens, happens. The first submission is from something you should know, because it's Soul Grinder Zine, and we've talked about this previously. And one of the cool things about Soul Grinder Zine is that if you've been following Reaper Metal, then you should know Dick Vomit. A lot of dicks going on there. There's that guy. I got to take that off. Speaking of ruffling feathers, it definitely ruffled YouTube's feathers. So Dick Vomit is kind of basically, or Soul Grinder is responsible for Dick Vomit being on Reaper Metal because he informed me of Dick Vomit and I became a fan. And so this 6-way split CD has a new Dick Vomit song on there, Tree Rape. So it sounds like a classic already in the making, and we'll be.
I'm offended.
Yeah, well, it's the feather ruffling episode. So let's go ahead and take a listen and be prepared for 9 seconds of awesomeness, hopefully. Well, holy shit! There was it was 25 seconds. I was getting into it. I was ready to rock.
That was cool, yeah.
It was starting to sound like some Anthrax almost.
I really like the bass tone on that right away. It was punching me in the mouth. I like being punched in the mouth.
Yeah, I like the rawness that Dick Vomit has, and you know they have just a total, obviously, humor going on there. But
well, you better be raw with a name like Dick Vomit. Got some tech death production on that shit.
Hey! Don't get ahead of ourselves. We have a conversation based on that, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, then let's move on ahead. And that is, we had cool shit sent to us. More of it, because Paul sent that from Soul Grinder. And this is Illbred. So shout out to Steve, I believe. Yes, Steve, who sent it to our P.O. Box. P.O. Box 3884, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, 44223. Better write that down. Or go to the ReaperMetal.com website and send us cool shit, because we'll play it on 9 seconds. That's what we'll do. You send a package, and you get 9 seconds of it played. So let's go ahead and take a jam with Illbred. And
I love Brett.
yeah, and dude, and a shout out on this though too is it has I love Brett. Went right over my head. It's got Mark Riddick artwork. So
Sweet.
Bringing the R&P family around, I guess. So
yeah, I heard of that guy on this like label, this like video guy that does it. I heard about Mark Riddick on there.
Killer. Well,
yeah,
then
it's you.
Let's feed the internet more Mark Riddick knowledge and here, but knowledge of the artwork. This is Illbred with the music, and shout out to Steve. Straight to the point. And I was gonna say, I'm waiting for a blast.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing that. There was a note that went with it previously, or whatever I can't keep my episode airs straight, but when Steve sent this in, he said that this was an old album that finally got put out in 2020. So happy to be hearing only 9 seconds of it, but I will be hearing more coming up. And you can't too, because all this shit is linked in the description. Like Feeded Zombie, as Mark Riddick would say. I said Feeded Zombie. And holy shit, is that loud.
Holy shit.
Uh-oh.
I think we feeded.
That just went into play, and so I just went into playing it.
I like that right away.
Yeah, wow. It sounds different than the previous releases. I was almost wondering if I had the right disc, just from memory.
The drum sounded sick on that.
Yeah.
The deep beat action.
This is from Todd Mitchell. This is Lobotomy from Maryland. Todd sent in a while back, old demo. Chatted with Todd a lot, and he sent an awesome care package. And he said, hey, check out my old band, Lobotomy. We were awesome. Then he told me some cool stories about Chuck Schuldiner and being thanked in Scream Bloody Gore, I believe, for one of the legendary shows or something. So got some pretty cool mail acquiring there with cool backstories. Next up is Four Doors to Death Part 2, which Mark Riddick sent this in too, and it has Fetid Zombie, but then it has 4 bands on there. So sorry to the bands that don't get played. I think this is disc 5. Yes. So this will be let's go with track 3 from Ectoplasma. Oh, fuck. Well, we'll fast forward it since it has an intro.
It's like some horror of the zombie shit.
That was sounding good.
Double intros, yeah.
That also had Dark Descent put out with Unspeakable Acts Records, so that kind of explains the music to be expected. And shit, since this is a 5-disc changer, we gotta load in the 6th disc. And this is Ancestor from China. Yeah. And it's pure thrashing metal madness in the Teutonic way. Can't doubt it.
Is it like China's only metal band or what?
One of the few, at least.
Any.
Yes, and then doing Teutonic thrash. That's sweet. Yeah. Some pretty cool mail here.
They're doing German thrash in China now?
Yeah. I didn't know you could. Isn't the Teutonic...
Oh, that works. I think you have to be from Germany to do Teutonic thrash.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of just like a label that you can only have...
I'm German, but I don't think I can make German thrash.
I think you need to be German.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm waiting on my green card.
Yep. Then you'll have the right for Teutonic thrash. Well, maybe they got a green. There you go. Maybe they got a green card. So here, let's go to track Death Like Silence. Let's go to track 2, Death Like Silence. You got to play that, I guess. It's pretty ripping. Damn, curiosity will have to keep us there, because that is 6-9 seconds. Everything's linked in the description, so if you like something, then you do the homework. You sit there and listen to it. You flag your YouTube video and not make money off of it. You piss off the algorithm with a dick handle, and you check out ReaperMetalProductions.com, where all that's available to you. Because I don't have my producer here. I don't have J-Dog. I don't have any of the regular crew. A solo
we were talking
army.
about penises.
Oh, well, then there you go. Christian metal. One time when we were chatting, you had said something about Christian metal. You know, people kind of rag on that, and Satan's basically the cool way to go, and it's very, it's very much in metal music. But why is it so cool to go basically the opposite way of negativity, essentially, and then Christian is shitty? Like, it still has some of the similar messages, or I don't know. Take it away with that thought there, Jesse.
Well, I'm not like a Christian or like hardcore like religious freak or anything, but
Right.
I did go to Catholic high school. So I've
shit.
read the Bible a bunch of times, and it's just like whatever. And I was getting into deicide and like all the heavier stuff back then.
Dude, that would be a great Bible hype sticker. Whatever.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just like people can listen to, like, I can listen to deicide, but I don't. I don't worship the devil or any of that fucking crap.
Right.
But then I can't listen to Christian metal because Christian metal's gay and sucks because it's about Christ. It's like, and then I was like, well, fuck that. And then it was just kind of random. Like, me and my buddies back in high school, we used to order a bunch of tapes and trade tapes. And we got this big tape lot that had a bunch of like amazing Christian thrash and death metal. And I was like, well, holy fuck, it's like a whole genre that people don't talk about, like Mortification and like Vengeance Rising, and like there's like endless bands, and it's like I don't know, there's a lot of really cool stuff that just kind of got overlooked.
Believer.
Because it's ideology, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I resonate with that. I like, it makes sense. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't believe either of them. So like, what do I give a shit? And they're both basically deities that they're, revolving some sort of storyline or whatever the hell the lyrics are formulating the content of the subject matter, rather. Like, actually, the thing of it is, I think what happened is the mood of, or the presentation of Christians is always kind of like, I love my father, Jesus. It's just too like, no, people can't resonate with that speak, so they wanted to go with the devil because it's easier to resonate with that, where it's like that.
I think it's weirder that people can resonate easier with the devil, though. Like, it's like,
that's deep, man. Now you're getting some Adam and Eve shit.
I've always liked darkness and stuff like that, so I totally understand, but don't you think it's kind of weird that people are like, stuff that's about the devil, that's fucking sick, and then stuff that's about, like, being a good person and like, I don't know.
Kind of,
like,
totally.
Good values, people are like, that's stupid and gay. It's like, maybe now in 2020, Christian metal is going to be the best thing ever because it's like, it's very prim and proper and it's got nice rounded edges for everybody.
Yeah, and I think the stupid and gay talk is going away. People can't say it anymore. But I get what you're saying. It's not good. And the thing of it is you're right. It's very interesting because I'm telling you, man, I think it's the Christian presentation because it's almost lumped in as like just too nice, because thrash has said the exact same. Thrash has told us to be a great person. Nuclear Assault has told us to be a good person. They told us to turn off the TV and read a good book instead. So like shit like that. There's messages of, different kind of ways to lead your life. It might not be, hail Jesus. And that's, I think, why people maybe poo-poo it, is it's too nice. If it was like Christ is going to, if it was like fuck Satan, hail, if you talk the same way as like death metal does about,
there is yeah.
There is Christian metal that's like that though, like fuck Satan.
Yeah.
Who? I want to hear that band.
I'd have to re-look through it, but I remember a lot of them kind of ran together when I was reading all the lyrics. But I definitely remember a couple of them being like, maybe not those exact words like "fuck Satan," but
it's got to be those words too. I want a parallel.
Well, maybe I'll start it.
Yeah, we'll get the. Well, let's do it. Yeah, we'll get the. We'll do remote. I don't know. We both play guitar. I guess I'll play bass.
Start a Christian thrash band.
Yes. People said I sounded like Pete Steele, so hell, I could throw the Pete Steele edge in there. We'll switch vocalists. Be great.
There you go.
This is gonna be the what do they call them? The super group, the Reaper Metal super group.
The Christian metal super group.
But
like
no, but dude, that would be, yes, exactly. Imagine if Stryper was far more like, with their presentation, people would be all over it. And why wouldn't you be, dude? Like, Satan's a wimp. It's like David Cross, comedian David Cross said, or actor, he's got a lot of cards, said, he's like, dude, I'm not scared by possession or the devil. He's like, because he's old ladies, he's a young girl, he's young girls, and he's just a wimp. He has to take over other people's bodies. Like, how is that guy scary? And it's just like, never thought about it that way. I'm gonna watch The Exorcist slightly differently now.
Unless he's like the big like muscular, jacked one with like big horns and the tail and the wing.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I care about.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
that's like our album cover.
I was just gonna say that kind of carried over to the album cover. What do you think?
Demons are cool.
But dude, here's the other thing: is like Christian want like there's unblack metal, so they want a parallel, which is fine.
White metal. It's called white metal.
Is it white? Well, then there's unblack metal. I think white metal people probably gave up with that. I think that was like trouble back in the day.
I think they call it that. Some of the Christian guys call it that.
It might be an old school dynamic.
Chuck Schuldiner was trying to call it fucking life metal when he was playing. But
is that what he? Dude, speaking of ruffling feathers, like didn't he look back on his career and like didn't like the death logo with the inverted cross? That's why the later one is just like AT.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds like a familiar story. But I don't know. I think the Christians want a parallel, and that's fine. But I think you got to be a little more tough with it. I've always been saying that, though. Like, that, they'd just be awesome, you know? Like, Jesus, like, the parallels would be hilarious, man. Like, some of the stuff that they say, you know? Or then if it gets sleazy, like, get down on your knees and suck Jesus' cock.
That would go against something they like, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's some heavy Christian shit, though, like, you know?
Dude, yeah.
I did like a top, I think it was like, top 10 Christian albums or whatever a while ago, and it was like fucking there's some fucking heavy shit like Mortification, like
was Believer Extraction from Mortality in there.
Yeah.
That's a great dude. It's fast as fuck too, the speed picking on that.
I think Vengeance Rising is one of the most interesting ones. I don't know if you know much about them, but
I know it. That's about it.
Yeah, like the main guy, Roger Martinez, he was an actual preacher and he had a church. And then after church on the weekends, they would open it up and all the metal bands would play. So you go to church and then it'd be like Mortification and like Vengeance Rising and like all these bands. And they all had the same guy in them. It was like, I forget his name, like Bob Christ or something. He helped do all the fucking Pastor Bob. That was it.
I was going to say maybe it was David Wayne, and that's where he came up for the idea of metal church.
but then the funniest thing that Vengeance Rising did is they did all those Christian albums. I think they did like 4 or 5, and they're fucking great. And their last one was really heavy. And then apparently Roger Martinez turned his back on Christianity, and now he's trying to like do Vengeance Rising as an anti-Christian band. And the old members of Vengeance Rising started a new band, and they're trying to like bring him back to the light. So they have like a song about bringing Roger Martinez back to Christianity. It's just like, not many people know about that. It's such a weird, you know, it's a pretty interesting thing that's going on, but no one really, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of fucking crazy. I've never heard, you know. It's pretty funny shit.
Well, the other interesting part about it is then, and maybe it's our culture, but not really, because metal as a whole, is it just like polar, like there's many religions. Why just Christianity? Like, why is like, I mean, there are obviously ones that are rooted around other ones, but like,
is there like a Jewish metal band or
exactly
like a Buddhist metal band?
Yeah, because I guess the Jewish metal band, see, that would be like Middle East, which there is. Do you know Legion of Doom or Legion of Death? Records.
Legion of Doom is a wrestling tag team.
Yeah, but Legion of Death from France is a record label, underground metal record label, with Shagzel from man, I need fucking water here, coughing like crazy. I don't have COVID, sorry, but I guess we're 6 inches away or feet. Yeah. But
measure with the dick candle.
Yes. We never got an official measurement out of it. There you go. That'll be further engagement with the dick handle audience.
Bringing it back around to the dicks.
Yeah. Oh. But Shagzel, his record label, he put out a comp and it had a bunch of obscure countries and bands from them. And I know that Israel was one of them. And then much of the Middle East, even like weird countries, or not weird, but countries in Africa.
Your country's weird.
Yeah, your country's weird. I mean, I guess that's the point, is it's weird to me, and that's probably. Yeah. But it is safe to say though, metal is just like not popular there. It isn't dense of me not to know bands from there. I just don't think that they're from there.
Yeah.
But that remark of only being one religion comes from. Do you remember recently there was I think it was a Muslim band that was like a black metal version essentially of because it was anti-Muslim, and like they are arrested because I think they were in like Iran or some shit. Did you know about that?
I think I heard about it maybe briefly on one of those weird tabloid websites.
So it makes me wonder then, like as we're essentially, I don't know if you really want to be thinking about like economies and stuff, like something's definitely happened with like our high power. Like we're expanding into the internet's obviously bringing media to places that never had things to be aware of stuff. So eventually there's going to be places unheard of that are start to get westernized and hip to these sort of things. So imagine that if metal starts to have like a 90s death metal or an 80s, basically decades that we have gone through with other countries, but other countries then go through as they expand with the other countries that basically would be getting hip to these metal movements, that there might be a thrash movement in, whatever African country.
So like a guy in like Bangladesh gets like kill 'em all, and he's like kill 'em all.
But better than that. It would be the new wave. So like he doesn't even know what the fuck Kill 'em all is, and Kill 'em all is so old that he would never get a copy.
Well, what if he gets like Warbringer or something, and then it's just like,
right. So whatever his world, Warbringer, or fuck, better yet, Assimilation, Fetid Zombie. That could be his Kill 'em all. That like. Then he jump starts the next metal, like the metal wave. Like that's how it was for us. Like if we were, the dense part would be to think that we're the only ones that matter. Like that's the only history that would matter. That like Vietnam going through a thrash metal movement and it's as popular as it was in Canada and America. Fuck, even Canada was bitching about it. So you forgot about us, assholes. So like it's totally that just what country is being hip to some, movement. So I'm rooting for it, man. Well, I don't know what year it'll be, but let's say 2025, Bangladesh.
Hoping for some Jewish thrash.
Bangladesh, Israel, and then like, I don't know, some country in Africa. Like they're all going to be like, like we just said, Chinese playing Teutonic thrash. They're going to have like Moroccan thrash, whatever.
You hand out yarmulkes at your shows to the crowd. Don't headbang it off. It's got a little string.
I guess that's what it would be. Like Israeli thrash would be like Jewish thrash. Like if you were to have like your more Teutonic, you know what I'm saying, that relates to Germany. Like Israel, I guess, could have Jewish. Where like I don't know what Azerbaijan would have, or whatever country.
Azerbaijan.
I can't even say it. Uruguay. Like, but then again, that would be South America.
Problem saying Canada out there?
What's that?
You think there's people that have a problem saying Canada out there? Probably.
Oh, for sure, dude. I met a guy that had a problem saying Inquisition.
That's a hard word.
It is?
Yeah. It's got a lot of syllables.
I had a guy. I had a dude that had a problem saying exhumed. He said exhumed.
Yeah.
And then hemorrhage. I mean, I guess they're slightly, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. When you sound them out.
English language is just dumb in general,
This week, Album Wars, Razor, Violent Restitution, or Evil Invaders. Ooh, right? I mean, that's the go-to.
Honestly, when you asked me about this, I was like, because like every other band ever, you name them, I got like Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick, Cannibal Corpse, Tomb of the Mutilated. It's easy, Peace Sells by Megadeth. I can go right to them, but with Razor, I'm like, Jesus, it depends on my mood, you know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot to even be said, because there's even, I think everybody probably has the same thing, is there's obscurities in the catalog that when you go to them, you're like, holy shit, Custom Killing's pretty fucking good. I don't remember it being good.
That's the thing. I always wrote off Custom Killing, because that's I don't care what anyone says, that's the worst album cover ever made, ever. Everything about it is shit. Would never buy it, and like it looks like it would be their first EP, not like their fourth or fifth album if you count their EP, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And just a quick little note on Razor. It seems to be the most overlooked band, like, in thrash and speed metal. Like, even a lot of my close friends, I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know Razor? Because we did that Open Hostility last week. They're like, yeah, I don't know, kind of heard a bit, never really listened to them. I'm like, you're in a thrash band.
Wow,
like,
really?
It seems to happen a lot, man. I meet a lot of people that they never really listen to Razor, really gave them a chance, you know what I mean?
Are they younger than 30-something?
No, some are older than me.
I was just curious because it could be a generational thing too, you know, because there's like people out there now that like, you know, black metal kids that don't like Venom.
Yeah, I know. That'd be like me, like, not knowing, like, you know, like fucking Blessed Are the Sick or
Right.
like Morbid Angel or something. They play in a thrash band and they don't know Razor, and they're Canadian. And as far as I'm concerned, Razor's like pretty much our best band. You know, it'd be between them and Cryptopsy. Well, actually, Rush is our best band. But if we're talking metal,
they're all so different. But so, all right,
Yeah.
well, getting back to point. What's better within your best band's discography then? Take a stab at what you think Well, actually, what do you think is my pick for Violent Restitution or Evil Invaders?
Well, like, the thing is, in the earlier stuff, they have more of the heavy metal vibe of like old Motorhead and Priest and like Saxon and stuff. And then
Right.
as they go on, they get a bit heavier. And, you know, I almost wanted to put fucking Malicious Intent in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I felt if we didn't put Evil Invaders, you'd get people with, you know, pitchforks coming in wanting to kill us. But I think that has all the hits. But, you know, for me, Violent Restitution, I think I would have to pick, like, because my whole thing is, like, if I'm trying to get someone into a band, what album would I put on? You know, I'd put on Rain and Blood, you know?
Okay.
And that's, you know, that's not my favorite player, but it's what I would give a new fan, where I would give a new fan Violent Restitution, because it just has the best production. But I think Evil Invaders has all the big hits, so it kind of depends, but I think you would probably pick Evil Invaders.
Yeah, because you're right, because of the hits. It's more memorable, but you're right. Damn, good ways of looking at it, because you're right. Like, if you gave that to somebody, you almost have to feature the disclaimer. Like, all right, so this is where they started. They had a really shitty drummer, and then they got a really good drummer, and they even called him Quick Snare. You know, like, it just be something like that. Like, yeah, if you're getting somebody into it, it's almost like you got to explain, like, but like give them a chance further on because it gets even better, and like it has
also
like
the
that
production on Violent Restitution, like that guitar tone just
It's way
destroys everything
heavier.
else.
Yeah, because the heavy metal edge is very much even in the
So
production of Evil Invaders. I was gonna say Executioner's Song.
Yeah. Executioner's Song, that was you know, that's been in my car for 2 months now. It's just like, that could have easily been on there over Evil Invaders, but it's just kind of, you know, that's why it's not an easy thing. Like, when I say, like, I would probably have to say Violent Restitution's probably, you know, my favorite overall, but right now Executioner's Song I would probably, you know, just because I haven't listened to it a lot lately, so it's not an easy.
Dude, right now I'm enjoying Custom Killing. I went back to it and I was like, damn, I didn't know this record. It's pretty damn good. And then Shotgun Justin's good. Justice. But
I kind of skipped Custom Killing.
yeah,
That's the only one I kind of. We were listening to it at a party a couple weekends ago, and it was pretty good. But I honestly don't know it as well as everything else. And the last album with the dumb guy's face on a building, Decibels, like,
yeah.
But I don't know. They're all pretty good. Like, you can't really like
Can't
Open
fuck-
Hostility is one of my favorite, but a lot of people hate on it because it has a drum machine,
Yeah.
right? And you know, like Shotgun Justice, you know, the original one of that has like one of the worst album covers ever too. But it's a fucking awesome album. But
It's the same
You know,
guy
like,
that drew the demo, probably.
yeah, I was talking to my buddy who plays like in a couple brutal death metal bands, and like, he got in this big argument with me at the beach. He was like, fucking Shotgun Justice is by far the best Razor. And I was like, there's a lot of people that wouldn't agree with you, because, you know, I think the best Razor should have the best vocalist on it, which is Sheepdog.
Yeah.
Because those fucking screams have never been touched again, and they never will be. You know, like, when you put in Violent Restitution right off the bat, that scream is just like, it's never been replicated. I can't even name anything close to it. You know
Yeah, because Bob Reed, right? Is that his name? The
well, he was the guy that came in after. He was
right.
like
he's not even close, man. He doesn't even like.
No.
I don't even know if he tried. Like, it's almost like it's just not even the same dynamic. And it's not that he sucks. He's great for the job. But he did strike me. You know, you talk about first records if you're just getting to know the band. I did hear his work early on, and that was not the right time. That's probably why I overlooked. He's on Custom Killing, right? Or no?
No.
Shotgun Justice.
He came in after Violent Restitution. So yeah, his first was Shotgun Justice.
Okay, that's why I overlooked that one then, and definitely Decibels is because of it wasn't Sheepdog, and those shrieks, they're just so much a part of the sound.
Big thing too was like because the whole band was like ready to go, and then they got fucking Sheepdog, right?
Yeah.
On the EP and stuff, and he was a lot younger than all of them, and he wasn't even really into thrash and speed, and he always wanted to push the band more into, you know, kind of progressive, you know, try and get that radio play, and he kind of took control on Custom Killing, and that's why a lot of people don't really like the production and the songwriting on that. And then on the next album, you know, he was just they're just like, fuck that, like, we're going heavy as fuck, and that's gonna be it, right? And then so that's why Violent Restitution is so, you know, it's such a comeback and a return to form, right? Because they were so angry off the last album and all the bad reviews, and people, and then funny thing on Violent Restitution, there's a song where like the guitar player and main songwriter wrote lyrics like that were, you know, like against the vocalist. So the vocalist is reading these negative lyrics about himself. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's pretty crazy. Like, he had to actually fucking sing those. You know, like,
maybe he didn't know then, and then he found out later. Or maybe he didn't find out at all.
But apparently he never even he never really participated in the tour of that album. I think he only did like one or two songs when they toured.
Sheepdog. Not Dave Carlo. Dave Carlo has always been.
No, because
Yes. Well, then I think it's safe to assume that you would agree what I assume the internet will have said or will say. We don't know if they have said at this point. Violent Restitution is going to be the winner.
I would say so, but it depends on people's tastes.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, if someone's like really big into death metal and thrash metal, and they're not so much into heavy metal, I think they like Violent Restitution more. But if you're more of like a heavy metal type of guy, you know, you're probably going to like, if you like new wave of British heavy metal, you're probably going to gravitate more towards the earlier stuff.
Granted, it might shock you. Some of the death metal guys could still go to the heavy metal lanes because there's death metal guys that like Motley Crue and shit, which is hard to believe. But
well, my whole thing is, if you don't like Wasp, there's probably something wrong with you. So.
So we brought him up earlier, but we didn't truly divulge the full tribute conversation, really, that we were going to have about Peter Steele. Because I really wanted to take that opportunity, man. I don't get to have this every day, even with a guest, where I can talk about this with J-Dog, because he's not exactly versed with anything more than Carnivore. And I love Carnivore, first and foremost. Embark in the appreciation of Pete Steele.
One thing I always thought was really cool about Peter is, like, he started Carnivore, and they were like, you know, they're like a hardcore crossover band in Brooklyn, and everyone's like, yeah, Carnivore, you know, like, there's a huge punk scene there, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we're gonna write songs about, you know, having sex with girls and like depression and, like, you know, your friends dying and all this shit, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? And people are like booing, and they're like, we don't give a shit, like, leave then, right?
Yeah.
And like, we already got your money, you know. Fucking. So I just thought that was always interesting, you know. He just didn't give a crap, you know, the whole way through.
Well, right.
I think a lot of people care too much about stuff nowadays. They care too much about, you know, being liked, or, you know, not ruffling any feathers, or, you know.
But never mind any of that, though. Let's embark into the appreciation of Peter Steele, because I'm curious then, because, like, I mean, that goes then hand in hand to say that you like his entire career, so you're a big Typo Negative fan then too?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, like, probably top 5 bands for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you, like... I'm not like an elitist. I don't know if there's even a Typo Negative elitist other than one that's just a raging fan.
Well, I think
But,
Typo
like,
Negative is one of those bands where people either love it or they hate it. They think it's the worst. You know?
I would definitely describe
not
it
a lot
that
of people
way.
in the middle.
Well, so that's how I always describe the records that I do like by them, which basically goes up to World Coming Down, is that I had to give them at least 5 listens, and so far I just haven't given the rest 5 listens. But I might love them. So, so like, wow, shit. Like, what's the one with like Rasputin on the cover? Dead Again? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that was their last album, I'm pretty sure.
And you like that too?
It has some good tracks, like it has probably their biggest radio hit, the
Bigger Than Christian Woman, huh?
I Don't Want to Be Me song was probably their biggest,
really?
like maybe radio hit. I don't want to be me. You know that one?
Dude, I grew up in the 90s. I remember when Christian Woman was, oh my God, that thing, you couldn't stop hearing that.
That's my go-to karaoke song. That's got me laid.
Really? So you got, man,
yeah.
so you do the dark, deep voice of Pete Steele. You bust that out, huh?
Yeah, you brought that up earlier. We should tag team the Peter Steele.
I never tried. It'd probably be miserably horrible.
You know.
Yeah. So,
no, it's a good.
I
always go for that.
What's the crowd reaction?
People usually dig it a lot. It's like when I went to the karaoke bar. It's been a while, but you know, it was the half the song, because the whole song's like 8 or 10 minutes long, and has that really fucking awesome part in the middle where
what's that? Jesus Christ Looks Like Me.
Yeah. But they fucking cut that all out for the karaoke one, so it's just kind of short and sweet.
It's the radio edit. It's the least worst of version.
The least worst of.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really admitted that fully, how much of at least the early works. Like, I'm actually a pretty big fan. 'Cause I have multiple copies of Bloody Kisses too, because there's the digipack version where then it had I forgot the name of the song, something about dusk. As a bonus, as an alternate, or not even an alternate, it was just one of those things that CD versions had different track listings, omitting songs completely, contrary to the other ones. So I had to have the jewel case version of that, and then the digipack version of it. Then the cover was slightly different, so there was that reason. I think I even own it on vinyl now that it's been put out, reissued. But I even have I forgot what it's called. It's a bootleg CD that has that track, the bonus track on it, but then it has outtakes and stuff from Bloody Kisses and then earlier on, like even the Carnivore demo on it. So I've definitely got, and then like I said, I go up to I think World Coming Down. I have the fall. I have every, at least to
honestly, I don't really think you need to go past World Coming Down that much. Like there's some good tracks on the next 2 albums, but
yeah,
World Coming Down was that's one of my favorites. Like if I'm having a really bad day and it's like pouring rain and I'm kind of depressed, that's my album.
There's that negative side, Britt.
Yeah, or like another thing, like Peter Steele always said he wrote October Rust to have sex to. So I've used that a lot of times for that. It's a great album for that. It's just chill, and it's got a good mood to it, a good vibe. And their earlier stuff's a lot heavier, kind of has that Carnivore carryover, and they never really shied away from being really triggering, like kill all the white people, people would love that now. It's just wild, right?
Oh man, what do you think 2020 would be like, or really all the years that we had without
2020
Peter?
Needs Peter Steele. That's what it does.
I mean, when did he die? 2015 or was it earlier?
I think 06.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That long?
Sure it was 06. Let me double check here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Where's our producer when we needed him? He could have looked that up.
No, 2010.
20. I was gonna say I could have been that long, but I mean, shit, 10 years. So yeah, decade with. There you go. That's how the decade changed, man. 2020 decade. Somebody
that lost Peter Steele, and then this happened.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because then like YouTube, I think YouTube was 2012. The phenomena that it is YouTube world, life, or culture, or whatever the hell you
I remember
call it.
hearing about it back in high school, like in 2008, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, have you been on YouTube?" Like in the library in the computer, and I was like, "No, that's the stupidest name. That's never gonna take off."
Yeah.
Or Facebook, I heard that. I'm like, "That's the stupidest name."
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that. So imagine if like that was the influencer culture, we'll just call it then, like that being a thing, like with Pete Steele. Do you like, would he embrace it? And like if the Typo Negative YouTube channel, like, I don't know, that would be some entertaining content.
It would probably already be banned, like Varg's channel. It would just be, it would just disappear.
Would he be? You think he'd be a Varg though? Because he said enough shit that, you know, like we could have at least hypothesized what the reaction would have been. It didn't seem like he pissed people off, like not like Varg.
I don't know. I think
he did.
I think in the current landscape, like Peter Steele would maybe not like how old he is now, but you know, I don't know. Who's to say, right? But
yeah, do you think he would Glenn Benton and kind of like soften up? I mean, I don't know if Glenn softened, but he was definitely not the hothead that I was expecting when I interviewed him.
Well, apparently he was a fucking like when you interviewed who? Sorry.
Glenn Benton, like he's just always everybody said, you know, he's always hothead and whatever, but he was totally chill. Granted, it was later on. I've always had this dream of like it'll happen, some sort of content where like, you know, the show has interludes, like we would like this conversation would be broken up by some sort of like skit, and that skit could be like where we just pre-recorded going live at like a mall, and then like asking random people whilst wearing a Jesus Hitler shirt, a Carnivore Jesus Hitler shirt.
MTV interviews back in the day. Like,
but then like, you know, being like, what is a burzum? You know, an airplane, and then like give them like multiple choices and see how many people
wear a triggering shirt and don't talk about it at all. Just ask them other questions until they get too angry and ask you about it.
Well, are you ready to then hear some classic metal records on the wrong speed?
Hell yeah!
All right, let's do it, because it's totally at random, because all my shit is just stowed away from moving, and I wanted to be more on the I want to have a better theme, Canadian records on the wrong speed, and we'll do that in the future, but there's nothing wrong with just fucking random records, classic records on the wrong speed, and that's what we'll have here. So let's get ready to rock. Wrong speed could go wrong there multiple ways, but this week it's only going to be going probably 45. So let's check it out, and let's load up the first one. Oh shit! Let's start with Candlemas, Epicus Dumicus.
Sick.
Should we start with the first track, or should we just like we're not gonna listen to the whole record, just one track?
You gotta put on first track.
Put on the first track. All right, that would. We're gonna have freaking Alvin and the Chipmunks. You think singing us "Please Let Me Die in Solitude"? Or
I think it's gonna sound like speed metal.
It could.
Yeah.
Some
because like speed metal's pretty much just, you know, like heavy metal or doom metal, like sped up.
Yeah. Oh, Alvin! Oh, I gotta hear later on. That's great.
Wait, I want to hear the riff that's coming up.
Oh yeah, okay. We gotta have the experience. Oh shit, I don't want to go to the beginning. Even that sounds like a chipmunk.
Yeah. Chipmunk guitar. Very cool.
Sounds like a woman.
That sounds closer to Trouble.
It definitely.
You know that band Trouble?
Oh yeah, that'd be
That's
interesting
awesome.
to hear on the wrong speed
That's
too.
another Christian band. That's amazing, man. Psalm 9.
Yeah,
Trouble's Christian. Yeah.
That's the white metal you're talking about. By the
Yeah.
way, I think like Trouble came up with that, and there's a far cry from un-black metal to that.
They're like the Christian Candlemas.
Yeah, so I guess white metal would just be Christian doom.
Yeah.
Essentially. Well, so you said you didn't know much Riot. You only know Thundersteel?
I love Thundersteel, but yeah, they've been on my list for a while. I have to say, the worst mascot of all time.
Oh,
I
know.
What the fuck is that?
As a guy that puts dick candles on his show, I appreciate the quality of having non-quality. I'm trying to find a fucking Riot song that at least I even know too, because this is a cool this collection that's here. This is the Riot collection that we're gonna hear on the Wrong Speed. Is
really?
It's more obscure, which is awesome,
Man,
but it's not good for this.
It's gonna be a riot.
Said every 49er, because that's the song we're gonna hear. Well, this is so as a guy that doesn't know Riot all that well, Riot is kind of more 80s speed metal, where it's more of like the heavy metal oriented than the speed metal that's now.
Depends on the album I've heard, because like fucking that Thundersteel is like borderline speed thrash, where a lot of the other stuff is kind of heavy metal, right?
And this is that era. So it's probably going to be some Alvin and the Chipmunks, but let's find out. 49er, if you know Riot, sing along.
Yeah, sing.
I guess there's speed metal on this too now. At the Wrong Speed anyway.
It's like Megadeth now.
Yeah.
Early Megadeth.
I guess King Folly had something to that. Sped up Ted Nugent is Megadeth.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Kind of sounds like Rush.
Or Acid.
Yeah.
Because she kind of sounds like Rush, the girl from Acid.
Oh yeah, I guess it. Sounds like Caressive Steel Rush.
That's the real Speed, though. Dude, but that era of Riot with Guy Speranza is fucking awesome. So, I had to pick out a side here for Destruction. You gotta fucking hear Curse the Gods in the Wrong Speed.
Oh.
Curse!
Yeah. Pretty much. Too bad it's not one of those record players that could go really slow so we could hear Doom Destruction. But here we go. This is truly Live Without Sense. As it's the Live Without Sense version. On the Wrong Speed. That sounds sweet right there, though.
Sounds like Super Nintendo Castlevania.
Super Schmear Brothers. Dude, it's so fast. It's an angry shark. It's a cartoon shark singing.
Like Street Sharks.
Dude, I can listen to the whole record like this.
Yeah.
It makes you then like, because that would have been like, you know, an era of like, dude, we're just so fucking fast. Then when you listen to, then you put it on the regular speed, you're like, ha, fucking slow ass wimps.
Yeah.
You had nothing on Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Don't play fast enough, posers.
Yeah. That'd be great. Why wasn't that a bigger thing with Doom? Like, we're just slow as fuck, posers. You know, it's always like,
that's why I like Candlemass the most out of all Doom bands, because they do the doomy shit, but then they know when to pick up speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
there was this
even Black Sabbath, like the first Doom band, like not every song was Black Sabbath. You know what I mean? Like Cornucopia and shit. Like, I don't know.
Right. It drug you along. It was Doom in very other ways than just speed. Hey, this has been a special edition HELLCAST with Jesse on there. So we're going to have to do what everybody does when they do an interview sense kind of setting. What's up for the band? What's going on with the tour? How's the, you know, all that generic shit. But we didn't really say dick about the band other than in the beginning of the episode. So we might as well leave on that note. What's that? You want a dick candle?
No, we talked about a dick candle. We didn't talk about dick, though. There it is.
Well, so that's your reputation, being dicks. As now we can talk about dicks.
Just me. Everyone else in the band, everyone thinks is real nice. Well, as far as what the band's doing now, nothing. Coronavirus. No, we've been jamming a bit. Honestly, I've been having some hand problems for the past couple months. It's been pretty brutal. But, yeah, it's kind of calming down. So, I don't know, just jamming here and there. Like, we have the same jam space with my other band, Witch's Hammer. So, usually on weekends, it's Witch's Hammer and Assimilation jams. But, yeah, I got 4 songs for the next album done. So that's cool. And I can barely play the shit, so that's always good. And my drummer thinks I'm insane. So he's like, you need to calm down with that shit. So that means I'm moving in the right direction. And yeah, it's just kind of because our guitar player's working on music for his band, Terrifier, right now, too. So, and Witch's Hammer has a new album done, and Assimilation's working on new stuff. So it's just a lot of cool stuff coming out of Vancouver in the next year, I guess. But, yeah, just keeping busy, trying to get this album out, hoping people give a fuck somewhere.
Well, great, because at the time of this, you will have already known the fate of that album, and that's hopefully fucking flying colors, because already some of the Reaper Metal audience has definitely been taking a liking to it, and I'm really happy to see that, because those people, what are they doing? They're to even tell me that. They're existing on the Reaper Metal fan club over on ReaperMetalProductions.com, where we have our Patreon to help us execute the fan club tiers, and that is to be a dick candle blower on a Hellcast episode, to ask questions on Into the Darkness episodes to guests that you probably wouldn't be able to interview otherwise, in a sense. But then there's plenty of other things, like a lifetime discount to the Reaper Metal store, where you could grab that Assimilation album, Tainting the Purity, at a discounted price. So there's plenty of tiers. We put a lot of thought into it, so definitely check that out. But while you're here, let's do all the awesome YouTube bullshit. Subscribe, share, like, comment. And when you do all that, we'll have everything we need to talk to you next time.